Flowmaster dual exhaust install on the Toyota Tacoma. We're going to put it on today. Well, good afternoon everybody and welcome back to Robmotive. Today it is an exciting day. We're going to be putting the Flowmaster dual exhaust on my Toyota Tacoma. We've got it up on the lift there, ready to roll. Down here is the exhaust, you guys can see, and once we get the stock exhaust off of there, then I'll show you what it looks like in comparison. But if you want to know the part number, here is the part number for it. And I'll leave a link down below if you want to check out pricing and all that good stuff. So, my hope in doing this, of course, is that we get more sound out of the exhaust, but nothing obnoxious and droney. So we're going to find out. Anyway, enough talking. Let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, if you're new, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Okay, I've got my buddy Randall here, right back there, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, first thing, according to the directions, is to break it free from the 2 bolts in the front, and that is right where Randall's hand is. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna let you guys run and watch the struggle. The idea is to pull the bolts and then pull the muffler with the pipes in the back, of course, out of the holders up in the top, you know, those little rubber grommet-like things, and then drop it down. So we're gonna do that now. Okay, we got it down. As you saw, here is a comparison, I guess, of the old, which of course is here. Check out how big that muffler is. And then over here, of course, is the new. So just a little view, I guess, of what the old one looks like as compared to the new right there. Check that out. Okay, so next up, we start assembling, and I've laid it out so that we can go all the way down from the front the way that it should be, hopefully. Okay, one thing to note, make sure you get this pipe on the right way, and it's gonna go not that way, but that way, so that the end of it, in essence, is pointing up, like you can see right there. So we're gonna go ahead and get that bolted on. Gotta make sure we have the washer. There's a washer in between normally. So it's right there. So make sure you don't pull this off. This is a washer in between. You want to make sure that's there. We've got the pipe on, you can see. Just make sure you leave it a little bit loose. And by the way, which I forgot to mention, the size that you need to do this, let's take a look here, is a 14. Not sure if that'll come through on the camera, but it is a 14mm socket. So next up is to put the exhaust, the muffler on the end of that pipe. So we're gonna hit that next. Okay, we've got the clamp on, couple of notes. If you're trying to tighten or loosen the bolt on here, or the nut, it is a 15mm. And the clamp here is, or the little prong rather, is gonna connect into the holder going towards the front of the truck. Okay, that wasn't too bad. We've got it on there. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten the bolt just a little bit, the nut rather. So now we have to move on to the next, and we're gonna tackle the pipe. I believe we'll start with the passenger side. So back here on the back, you can see, obviously it's a dual outlet. So we have 2 pipes. We gotta go ahead and grab one, and then we're gonna route that through and see if we can get that fixed on next.
Oh, that is easy.
Let me get this one while we're at it. We've got it all hung up on the passenger side. You can see we're through the grommets, the holders, whatever, isolators I think they're called. Here, there, and over here to the left. I don't know if we have anything in that one. No, that'll be for the next,
Other side.
the next pipe. Now let's take a look at the muffler. You can see the gapping here. Here's where it starts to get wider. We have about 3/4 inches or so here. I don't think that's a big deal. Maybe we push it up a little, it might actually close a hair. And then down here, we're about, what, a quarter?
Maybe.
So?
You're right. To me, you're a little bit past the wide end with the bell.
Okay. But we're in good enough. I don't think we're going to have any issues. And you can see it's hung up here well on the isolator too. So, leaving it loose, we're going to go ahead and grab the other side, get that positioned so that we can move on. Now, one thing I'll note, over here, there is an isolator that we have to put in the frame right up here. It is sitting right over here on the tonneau cover. This is what I'm talking about. This has to be bolted up there so that we have something to plug into here on the side. So we're going to go ahead and get that fastened up, and then we should be able to hang the rest of the pipe. We're basically done other than tightening. Here is the isolator I was talking about. Make sure you leave it loose because you need to be able to finagle it around once you get that pipe in there, and you'll just end up loosening it again. So leave it loose, get the pipe in, and then tighten it down. Next up, we got to finagle the pipe through there. That's going to be interesting. And then we'll move on. Okay, as far as the final pipe, let's catch you guys up a little bit. We put this bent pipe, this goes in before the final one here, in the muffler. It comes up, goes over across here. You can see it's up by the other one there. And then the other one plugs in right there. Goes over this way and plugs into the isolator that we installed up here. Now, a tip for you, make sure, one, that you leave that isolator loose because you do need to move it around. And I would suggest putting the hanger in the isolator before connecting it to the pipe over here. Just much easier to do that way. You're very limited in space over here. And I noticed in the install video that the company had on the web, they actually tightened that down and had to loosen it, maybe even took it off because they went and put the pipe in over here first. Don't do that. Put it in the isolator over here and then push it up into the pipe. It fits really easy, so it's not a problem. Now you can see kind of how it comes off of the edges there. We have a dual outlet exhaust. It's awesome. I'm going to go ahead, tighten up all the bolts and everything, and then we'll come back on and do the tips. Okay, we've got the exhaust done, everything's tightened and installed, and then a little tip for you, just to make sure the tips are equidistant from the bottom of the body, just used a little 2x6, or anything really that's equal in width, on each side, as you can see there, to make sure that your tips are the same distance on each side, which then you won't be looking half sideways once you get it all done. So that is the look from underneath. Another thing I want to point out, you clear a little bit of distance here because this muffler is more higher up, I should say, than the other side. One tip, make sure you double check. When I went back and looked, I actually left one of the clamps or isolators off right here. So we had to loosen up these two bolts and this one to go ahead and get that back on. So that's it, we're done. The project is finished. Now, for the sake of longevity, because I know you guys don't like long videos, I hate to do this, but tomorrow, we're gonna do the test drive and the startup and let you guys hear what it sounds like. Real quick, before I forget, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels, Robmotive JT, all about Jeep Gladiators, and Robmotive FST, all about full-size trucks. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.